Guys, so I'm going to attempt during this storm to show you how to load or charge your marker so that you can start training your dog. Because unfortunately, if your dog does not understand that your mark equals your reward, then we can't train them. We can't do any of the other methods. So this game is called loading your marker or charging your marker. And I like to think about that. I think about if I'm going to use my laptop or if I'm going to use my cell phone, well, if my cell phone isn't charged and I don't have an operating system loaded onto it, then there's nothing that I can do. I can't use it. It's just a brick at that point. It's just a dead piece of equipment. And so, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and show you how to load or charge your marker. So, in order to load or charge your marker, you are going to need to have either a voice marker or a clicker. So, voice marker picked out, clicker, ready and handy to go. You're also going to need to load up with all kinds of training treats. So for my dog, I've got a whole big handful of a bunch of different ooey gooey stuff in here. And what we are going to do is essentially that Pavlov's dog science experiment where we are going to ring our bell or ring our bell before we feed our dog. Ring our bell, feed our dog, ring our bell, feed our dog. You get it. Pretty simple. So Theo is already ready. I think the storm is putting him on edge. So I'm going to, I like to toss the food on the floor just because he understands it's in his kingdom, his domain, it's for him. And so I can teach him to drop it and I'll leave it later. But for right now, boy. The biggest thing about this loading the marker game is that I'm not going to care about what behavior my dog is doing. I'm also not going to make it a pattern where I'm going to click and then wait 2 seconds and then click and then wait 2 seconds and then click. I don't want him to think that there is any rhyme or reason behind this mark and reward. That's a nice big cookie for him. So during this exercise, you are not expecting a behavior. You're not going to click your clicker and wait for your dog to sit. You're not going to click your clicker and wait for your dog to look at you. All you're doing is building the association that mark equals reward. That is it. I say that, however, you do not want your dog jumping on you, barking at you, chewing on you, or something inappropriate, jumping on the kitchen counter, barking at the neighbors, chewing up your couch cushions. What you want to do is just mark and reward your dog. You can hand deliver if you would like. You can mark, reach into your little treat pouch and hand deliver it to your dog. You can absolutely do that. There really isn't a right or wrong answer. Except for what I do not want to see anybody doing or hear about anybody doing is going, hey, wait, where's that big piece of chicken? And then mark your dog and hand it to them. Because then you're marking your dog as they're looking at the food. You're having the food come before the mark. We want to make sure that we are marking and then rewarding. So you guys notice when I marked that time, when I clicked that clicker, Theo whipped around. He had kind of a little whiplash response. That's what I want. I want my dog to have a yippee or a whiplash response. So they understand, hey, wait a minute, mark equals reward. I kind of like this. Even if you've got your clicker behind your back, you want your mark to equal a reward. So in the future, I will be able to ask for a behavior such as sit. So as soon as his butt hit the ground, I marked him, okay. I rewarded him, and then my okay word was my release word. So I cannot do any of that, however, if he does not know that the marker equals a reward. So, sit. Okay. And that was that magic formula all together. I asked him to do something. When he completed the behavior, I marked him, I rewarded him, and then I added in my release word. I realize we have not talked about release words yet, but I wanted to show you guys that all in action. So again, you just want to mark your dog and reward them, mark them and reward them, and let them know that your marker equals a reward. That's all you're going to do for this. Again, your marker should not make your dog sit. It is not a command. It's just letting your dog know that when they hear this noise, this behavior is followed up. So, happy marking.